My name is David J. Atwood. I'm the man rocking the Ray-Bans. And today we have another gorgeous but extremely cold day today. I usually let the car warm up a little bit before I start attempting to scrape the ice off of it. And today the ice was thick and it was hard. And what lane are you going to go into, sweetheart? Whatever lane you're going into, I'm going the other one because you're a horrible driver. And when I say horrible driver, I have pretty high standards. And one of those standards I have is you have to go as fast as me, if not a little bit faster. Don't make me put the brake on is my general rule of thumb. If you don't make me put my brake on, I think you're a great driver. So, this morning it was really, really chilly, clear sky, beautiful. I think they call it a snow moon. That's what they were calling it in the papers this morning. In the news this morning. And last night the snow came out. The moon came out and it was huge, and it hit the snow in the backyard, so it just lit up the whole house. It was really, really gorgeous and incredible. It was like I told Gabby, hey, look, go, just because she went out for a walk while I was working on the Whiskey Compass website, Whiskey Compy. And I said, hey, take a look at the moon. And she took a picture of it. And of course, it never looks like it does in your phone. But anyways, it was really chilly this morning. And I go to the gym in the morning because I like to get it out of the way. So I like to show up early for work, get a good parking spot, do a workout, get to the office, start the coffee, get things rolling before the day starts. So I'm not hitting the ground running. So I just kind of ease into my day. And I always wear my shorts, and I really, really don't care what weather it is. I do, of course you always want nice sunny weather, nice sunny warm weather. But I'm okay if it's a little bit chilly out. It bothers me, but it doesn't bother me enough to not wear shorts. So I'm wearing my shorts this morning, and it was so cold. And the worst part is when I get a sweat on at the gym, and then I start walking back to the office. It's about half a kilometer walk to my office. It's not that big of a deal, but wow, that wind kicks up and hits that sweaty face. Ooh, it's so cold, so cold. But I'll tell you, it sure does wake you up. So I decided today to take a few moments to kind of just get ahead of the traffic and get ahead of the day. So I'm heading back to my home office to do some work there. And I've decided that for the rest of the afternoon, I'm going to be focusing my energy on the Whiskey Compass magazine. It's all done. I've got the layout done. I've got I gotta look. I'm gonna reread everything so the editing is perfect and it's exactly what I want. So my vision is really as true to my original thought as possible. So I'm going to go put some work into that today. And I'm hoping I can nab Gabby and go somewhere where we can grab I got to do some photos out in the wild today at a bar. And I'm hoping we might be able to do that this afternoon. Possibly. That would be nice. Get ahead of all the craziness. And and I just think, sometimes you have to take a break from what you're doing and do something else. Now, there's a saying. It is actually I got two sayings I want to talk about today. The saying is, a change is as good as a rest. Well, that's really what a rest is. A rest is a change. It's stepping away from whatever you're doing and recalibrating. And one thing, I'm not a smoker, but I've heard of other people talking about cigarette smokes, how it's not so much the nicotine. It probably has some aspect to it, but it's also the fact that you're outside, you're getting a break, you're taking a moment away from what you're doing. Just a moment, like the 5-minute little walk down to the smoking area, 5-minute smoke break, and then back up. By the time you get back up, you can reset. And technically you're not resting. You're walking, you're standing, so it's not really resting. You're doing something different. And I think a lot of times people say, oh, you know what, I got to take a break. And in their minds, they believe that the break needs to be zoning out, watching TV, turning your brain off. It needs to be something completely docile. And it's got to be something very, where you just sit around and just do nothing and literally do nothing. That's the only way you can get rest. I don't believe that. And I'm perfect example of that. I leave one crazy busy thing to do another crazy busy thing, and that's where I get my breaks and my rest, is in that that transfer from one thing to another. Not the transfer itself, but doing something else. It takes you out of that moment of stress or compression, and it allows you to, no matter what you're doing, you go home. And I'm telling you, if you're an office worker, go home and start swinging a hammer and see just how refreshing and relaxing that feels to you. Go home and start gardening. Go home and do what other people do for a living, and you'll find that that is your rest. One of the things I love to do when I get really stressed out about life or doing whatever, it really happened a lot during the convention when I was getting ready for the convention, is I will go home and I'll cook something. I'll make a soup, I'll make a bread, I'll make some cookies or muffins or whatever. I will start cooking something. I have this place I go to in my mind when I get too stressed out, where it is me in the kitchen mincing onions and sauteing the soup trinity before I start building my soup. Those things in that time makes me feel very relaxed. I think number one is there's no time constraints. When there's no time constraints on you, you can do something, and you can spend a little more time with it. You can learn, you can make mistakes, you can start over. Just like what I'm doing with Whiskey Compass, or with you're cooking a bread, or you're making a dessert for later on. Ooh, nice 9/11. Oh, that's sexy. So it's even though you're doing something different, it could be actually kind of exhausting. I mean, think about people who go to the gym. It's not rest, but it's a change, and it's that change, that mental change, that changes everything up for you. The crazy thing about all of this is, and this came up with my buddy Colin, we were talking about mental attitude and how much farther someone can go with a broken body but a thriving and healthy spirit and mind than they can go when somebody is defeated mentally. And you see it all the time. I love the show Survivor, and there was one episode where this guy shows up onto the beach and he's ripped, just yoked, like he's got huge shoulders, he's cut, he's got 2% body fat. This guy looks good, and he looks like a freaking athlete. He's one of the first guys, and actually he didn't get voted out, he asked to leave. He literally said, I can't do this anymore. He asked to leave. Physically he was there. Physically he had everything he needed to win this competition. But the mental, when the mind goes, when you're done, when you literally are saying, I can't do this anymore, that's where the real challenge comes in, because with a broken spirit, you're not going to be able to get through. So it's really important to stay healthy with that stuff. Ooh, smoky. A little bit of an oopsie-daisy on the road there. Actually, a really bad oopsie-daisy. Wonder how that happened. Yeah. Anyways, that's why it's important to take a break and change what you're doing. So one of the things that I found has been really beneficial to me is changing my what I'm doing at the time. So if you're doing something really, really crazy busy, go home and clean your house or organize something. Or even better, if you can get to something that's a little bit repetitive, a little bit, not repetitive, maybe that's the wrong word. Something that takes a little bit more effort. A little less effort, but it's more I don't know, muscle memory kind of stuff, you'll find that that can actually become cathartic and a little bit therapeutic as you're building through it, working through that those issues. So I think what I want to say is it's important, if you're getting too stressed out in a certain situation, to take a step back and start doing something different. And this is what I had to do today. My morning was getting a little bit too crazy, too much stuff going on. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go and work on something else. So that's what I'm doing. Secondly, I got dragged into this conversation this morning with somebody. And it was funny because I could tell in more time than it should have taken me, I did start to realize that this person that I was having the conversation was purposely being obtuse and trying to purposely not understand the point I was trying to make with the conversation. And then I started to get emotionally invested. And then I started getting a little bit frustrated with the whole situation. And then at one point I said, you know what? I think this conversation's run its course. I think I'm done. And so I turned, and then he was like, well, no, hang on. I want to talk some more. And I could tell that he was actually getting joy out of seeing the frustration of me trying to explain myself and him purposely punching holes into my stories and my theme, the theme of the conversation, in order to just frustrate me. Some people will do things in a way to frustrate you simply out of sport, simply for their own recreation. And this is what was starting to happen. And it reminded me of this saying: you don't ever pick a fight with a pig, because you fight with a pig, you're going to get filthy, and the pig likes it. And it was like, that was exactly it, because I found myself getting frustrated, and the more I got frustrated, the more this person I was talking to was actually having fun with it and purposely trying to not see my point. So the reason I bring this up is, don't allow yourself to get sucked into these things. If there's an old saying, I think it's for priests. I think priests are supposed to take this one on, and it's seek to understand, not to be understood. So don't worry about trying to get your point across to make someone understand you. Work to understand them. So a lot of times what we do is we spend a lot of energy trying to get our point, get to a point where we can get people to understand what we're saying and why we're saying it. And sometimes it is simply just a waste of time. So I decided, after, way too long into this conversation, that, you know what, I think we're done. And I should have said that a lot sooner. However, I did not. And but it was a point where it's like, that thought went into my head: don't pick a fight with a pig. and so if someone's there egging you on, try to understand it, and also try to understand the desire we all have to be understood, and try to keep that in check, because it's a very natural thing. Like when you say something and someone goes, like you said, yeah, well, the sky's blue. Well, not always it's blue, because when the sun comes up, it's golden, then it's purple. It's like, okay, you know what I'm trying to say. The point of the saying is that some things are always the same, and no matter what, they're always going to be the same. Yeah, but the sky, just the sky, and it's never going to. Don't be dragged into that kind of an argument. Don't be dragged into that kind of a situation. Save yourself the ever-loving grief, people. Seriously. And I needed to do that today. I did not. I paid dearly for it, and it frustrated me the heck out of me. Don't pick a fight with a pig. Next time someone's getting you frustrated because they're purposely not trying to see your point, or like purposely working hard to bring up all the exceptions to the rule that is quite common And everyone understands this rule, but they're bringing up exceptions to it. And why, sometimes I've heard about a man biting a dog one time. It's not always dog bites man. Yeah, you know what? At that point, shut yourself off. Think of yourself wrestling with a pig in its filth and realize, you know what? The pig likes it. Anyways, folks, as I said, working on Whiskey Compass today. Check it out. Check out whiskeycompass.ca. That's the project I've been working on for the last 6 weeks. Very excited to see see how it's coming along. Also, check out financialfreeway23.ca. That's where all this information is going to be for you. And spread the word. Spread the good news. Spread the gospel, because we here at Financial Freeway want to make sure everyone understands that they have a right, an inalienable right, to live a life of success, happiness, and abundance. Wherever you are in this beautiful, beautiful, sunny, shining world today. God bless.